Hi, how are you? Today's video is not my usual happy video. I need to explain some things that have happened in the last few weeks and bring you guys up to speed, and also issue a very serious warning about a product that is sold for rats in many stores. I'm going to start at the beginning. Please note that this video is going to contain very graphic images, so viewer discretion is very advised. I don't rate my videos for kids anyway, but this is definitely not one that I would recommend watching if you are at all squeamish, get nervous at the sight of blood, or have small children. With all that said, let's get into it. On Sunday the 14th of March, I woke up to my kids telling me that Cracker's eye was bleeding. They know the difference between porphyrin and blood, so I came up immediately to my office to check him, and it was definitely swollen and possibly bloody. I panicked and posted in my Discord chat about it. I tried to call several doctor's offices and actually hung up the phone in the process of trying to get through because I was so upset. Thankfully, there were a few breeders and a rescue person also helped calm me down and told me to rinse it with saline and see what the damage was. I called emergency vets and was told that only one would be able to see him, and it would be $2,000 to remove his eye. Upon cleaning the eye, it appeared to just be swollen and not too much blood. Mostly it appeared to be porphyrin. I don't know if I'm saying that right, by the way. I'm saying it how it's spelled, so, but rat eye booger stuff. So I stabilized him by cleaning the eye and giving pain meds, and I watched him for about 30 minutes. The swelling seemed to decrease and he seemed totally fine, eating, drinking, even playing normally. I separated him from the other rats just because I didn't want him to bang it and make it any worse. I waited until the next morning because my vet was not in on Sundays. They're closed, and I called my vet on Monday. Our vet came in off hours just to see Crackers on Monday morning. She said she felt it was an injury and that it should heal on its own in about 2 weeks. We were sent home with medicated ointment and instructions to keep him on the pain meds every 6 hours and to put the ointment on his eye at least 2 to 3 times a day. So every few hours I was cleaning it with saline, and then at least in the morning and evening I was putting the ointment on, and I was trying to do it in the middle of the day too, and then giving him pain medicine every 6 hours, even in the middle of the night. I figured out that the injury was from our new water bottle. I'm going to put a picture of that somewhere here. It's super cute, but no shock. It's a KT water bottle. KT is notorious for selling products that kill animals or make them sick and has no remorse for this. The bottle can only fasten on the wire cage one way, and the way it was fastened, the screw sticks into the cage. I had the screw right at eye level, and Crackers likely hopped right into it. I added several washers to the back to fill the space so the screw is flush with the plastic cap that is used to hold it in place, and the bottle is no longer dangerous. It's possible this bottle could be hung inside the cage, but as we all know, rats are chewers, and so I never do that with a water bottle. I did try other ways to hang it, and none of them work. So if you have this bottle, please add washers or remove the bottle from the cage or hang it in a different way. Please don't let your rats get injured. By day 5, the eye appeared extremely dry. With the help of my Discord group, we found a saline eye drop that I could apply as often as hourly. So I did that all day Thursday and Friday morning. We traveled to my sister's house, and I even brought Crackers with him, treating him at the rest stops and during the day there, as well as Saturday. And we came back home, and Sunday morning was uneventful. We woke up from our afternoon nap, however, and he had scratched his eyes so badly that it was bleeding again. My husband and I had to wrap him around his body to make him immobilized enough to put a makeshift cone on him, which we made from a Dixie cup, and I managed to get the bleeding stopped with cornstarch. The next day I took the cone off and watched him, applying ointment every 2 hours, and his eye improved. He was looking much better and had even left it alone. But I decided to call around again and try to find a different vet to take the eye out that might be in my budget. After calling more vets than I could count, the lowest I could get a quote for was $500, which was still far out of budget. That also was from a vet who told me that it was going to be $500 to $800 and that they would need to see him for a fee of like $75 or $80 in order to tell me how much it would cost. We have other pets, more rats and small kids, and as a family, we just can't spend $500 on a small pet with such a short lifespan. Add to that, we had recently neutered Cameron, which depleted my vet savings fund quite a bit. So spending that amount on crackers would just be irresponsible for us. Should also add a note, there are things like care credit available, but we have discussed within our family and we don't feel it's responsible to put that kind of money on credit because we don't know what our circumstances are going to be and things could go wrong and we could need that money for our different animal or for our children or for ourselves, and it's just not a responsible thing for us to do. Also, not all vets take care credit, we came to learn a couple of years back. But a vet told me that they could give me a quote if I could bring him in for an evaluation. So I scheduled that for Tuesday morning. It's a vet that my vet personally recommends for more specialized surgeries, so I felt optimistic. We arrived for the appointment Tuesday at 9:30, and the vet looked over Crackers and commented on how well behaved he was, but that basically the eye was toast. But he also felt that it would heal on its own. So long as it didn't get any worse, we were fine to continue treatment that our vet had suggested. So I kept on. Thursday night, when I got up at 2 a.m. to give meds and lubricate his eye, it was bleeding just a teeny bit. We're talking like so small. But once I applied the lube, it stopped and it was fine, and I assumed it was just dry and that the lube helped. Friday was uneventful. And now Saturday. I had medicated and lubricated Crackers at 2 a.m. as usual, and he was fine. But when I went up at 9, 45 minutes later than normal, I was quite exhausted from getting up every night for nearly 2 weeks, so I opted to sleep in just a little later. And unfortunately, his eye was just pouring blood. I tried cornstarch. I tried to get a cone on him again. I gave him meds. I tried lubricating and nothing was working. He simply would not leave the eye alone and it just kept bleeding. I tried to get the bleeding to stop from 9 until about 12. I called the vet who quoted me the low price and even asked if they hired people to work off surgery expenses, and they said no. Sometime after that, I contacted my breeder, who I'd been keeping in the loop since the whole incident had happened a week before, and let him know what was going on. And then when my husband came home, I told him there wasn't anything else that I could do. And with many tears, we decided it was best to put Crackers to sleep. I talked to my oldest kiddo, as Crackers is her rat, and asked if she wanted to come with me. So we drove to our vet, only to find that they had closed an hour prior to our arrival. It's a walk-in clinic, so I never thought to call first. I called the other vet that we had seen on Tuesday, but they were also closed. It was now been 45 minutes since I left my house. I'm getting frantic that I won't be able to help my baby not suffer anymore, and he was getting so tired, so very tired. If you've had a rat who's sick or injured, you know when they're done. Like, their bodies just give up. They don't fight being in the carrier. They don't try to escape when you open it. He was just laying there just bleeding, and it was awful. I can't explain to you how much blood I dealt with all day Saturday. My daughter had to wipe his face in the car so that he could breathe through his nose because the blood was just pouring into his nose. It was so much, and it was obviously just too much for his little body. Finally, I thought to call the vet who sees our dog and cat. They were open and said yes, they could do a euthanasia for me. So we drove there, another 30 minutes drive. They had to work us in, but thankfully they were not very full. Normally, due to COVID, we would not have been able to go inside, but we had been driving for ages, so I asked if we could come in to use the restroom, and after that, when we came out of the bathroom, they just took us right to an exam room. The tech was so kind, so sweet. Asked lots of questions about the injury, explained the whole procedure, and that due to COVID, we couldn't go in the back with him like we could have before, which that was okay. At this point, he was laying so still and slowly breathing that I really just didn't want him suffering anymore. So we stroked him and told him what a good boy he was and how loved, and then said goodbye. I'm sorry this happened yesterday and it's really hard. When they brought him back to us, they told him it was peaceful. They gave me this small clay piece with his paw prints and name in it. I'm telling you all this because I know a lot of you really love my rats and love watching them, and I think you probably love them almost as much as I do, as much as you can for watching rats and other people's animals through the internet. But I also wanted to tell you this because this is a preventable thing, and I never thought about it. I feel like I am so careful when I pick out toys and things for my rats. I never thought to check the water bottle screw. It just never even occurred to me. And so if you are using this water bottle, I wanted you to know so that you can adjust it and make it safe for your babies, because this was 100% preventable, and I feel absolutely horrible that it happened. The other reason I wanted to tell you about this is because you will be seeing some videos in the upcoming weeks that have him in them. I film everything weeks ahead of time and then schedule it to upload, well, to go live on a certain day of the week. I'm really thankful for that because I don't think, besides this video, I could handle making more videos for a little while. And thankfully I won't need to for a few weeks because my heart is absolutely shattered. My kids are devastated. And they're handling everything really well, but this whole thing is just a shock, and we would appreciate your thoughts and prayers. I also say all this to say that now is the time to look for emergency vets before you need them. You just never know when a random thing is going to happen, and you can't predict it, and it sucks big time. So knowing ahead of time what your options are can really help. I wish I had done that. I wish I had known ahead of time because, I don't know, it probably wouldn't have helped in this situation, but it was really awful to find out after the fact. I had something else I was going to say. Oh. I'm sure nobody's going to like this video, but please don't give it a thumbs down because we want people to see it and know about this product and keep their rats safe. But you don't have to give it a thumbs up either if you don't want to. I understand. Negative comments will be deleted. I'm being upfront about that right now. I had somebody try to tell me that I hung it incorrectly. I did not. I have literally tried everything to hang it a different way. I can't figure out how that would be possible. Anyhow, I considered disabling comments altogether, but I want to leave them on for now. If comments can't be kind, then I will turn them off. I just can't handle the negativity right now. We're still really in shock. Thank you for watching. I hope your week has gone better than our last 2 weeks.